But you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Here's Johnny.
I'll see you in hell.
Tell him Frank sent you.
She just goes a little mad sometimes. We all go a little mad sometimes.
What an excellent day for an exorcism.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Oh, yes. There will be blood.
What's in the box? What's in the fucking box?
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
He's sick for fuck's sake. You've seen one too many movies.
Now, Sid, don't you blame the movies. Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos for creation.
Where you going, Rudy?
I'm in the goddamn club, aren't I?
They're here.
What's going on, watchers? It is Lucky the Dork Dad, and with me, as always, is Little Joe.
What's up, watchers? What's up, Lucky?
What's going on? This is Now Watch This podcast where we watch stuff and talk about it, but we're not watching stuff today. This is part 2, I guess.
Yeah.
Part 2 of our Halloween Madness.
Yes, it's going to be a series, right? Welcome to the Tunnel of Terror.
We should have done TV shows. I think Roseanne would have won, though. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, if you guys missed last episode, we put together a March Madness, Halloween Madness bracket. 32 movies. Yeah. And we're going to take it, we broke it up into eight movies at a time, and tournament style, like March Madness, we're going to go down to number 1. So today we have our bracket number 1.
Yes, and this is one of the things that we posted on our Facebook. If you're not following us there, you can go to Now Watch This Watchers on Facebook, and that's the area where we do get a lot of reaction. And then Luck and I like to post stuff, and it's good, man. We get some people commenting and talking about it. So I know a lot of people were like, "What the hell is the Willies?"
Rightfully so. Because it is, like I mentioned when we brought this up, it's like, it's one of those off movies that, you probably picked up a Blockbuster, like, what the hell is this? But I liked it as a kid, but we'll get into that in a minute. I lost my train of thought. What was I going to say? Yeah, so we don't do that enough. We don't promote the group enough. So,
and it gets fun in there sometimes, right? Like,
yeah, I mean,
I like a lot of the reactions we do get. Some of them expected, some of them unexpected.
Yeah, so if you're on Facebook, Now Watch This Watchers Facebook group. There's also a page, Now Watch This, which we probably should update more often, but we mainly post in the group.
Yeah.
Just to follow along too, we also have Now Watch This on Instagram, which again we probably need to update more often. we're just so, like, the group is so much more fun. But we definitely need to post more on there, and on TikTok and Twitter. You do have the Twitter too. You do anything on there?
Oh yeah. That one really needs to get updated. But I've thrown a little bit more, and I think you have as well. We've done a little bit more on the TikTok. So that's been a lot of fun, man. Like getting a little bit more reactions there. But I mean, that's something that definitely too we need to get back or get into or show some more love.
Right. So we have the social medias out there, but the most fun we have is in the Facebook group.
Yeah.
And if you're not on Facebook, you can go there and check out the little the images I put together for each episode. A lot of people like those. They get a kick out of them.
Yeah. I want to say when we do these episodes, it's been one of my favorite things that comes out of them. Really is all the pictures. I mean, the Grease ones were fucking classic. But I got a little bit of a reaction lately because I guess my wife has listened a little bit more. So she's like, "Man, you got to cut down on the cussing. Like you cuss a lot, and you know, Luck really don't cuss that much. So I don't know if he just
what
don't
the
cuss
fuck?
because,
No,
yeah, because you cuss so much, and then it was a little bit of more is like." And then you gotta let Luck talk more. So I'm gonna do my best to let you talk more, Luck.
This is why I needed you though. 'Cause I need someone. I need someone to do the talking. No, no, it's all good. Cause but it just depends on what we're talking about, really. Because sometimes that's why it's good to have you. Because sometimes you have more input on things, and vice versa. So. Yeah, it works out in the end. It works out in the end.
It does turn out that I actually watch things now, is what I'm learning. A lot of which you did not. It's like, good Lord, sir.
I'm telling you, there's a period where, you know, I don't want to say grow up, but I mean, you know, where I just wasn't watching as much stuff, but I'm into it now.
Well,
there's a movie on here you never saw. So,
I don't know. I mean, based on the little bit of reactions that we did get, you know, I think I was in the majority of people that didn't watch these, you know. So again, you know, early '90s, and the movie called The Willies comes out, I might be thinking something else.
Yeah.
You know,
I think they tried to make it something because of Sean Astin, but we'll get into it.
Let's get into it. Yeah, let's get into it.
So
again, like you, I took some notes, so I got you, man.
All right. Yeah, I lost my notes. But so we're gonna break down the top 8. I don't even know. We're just gonna say bracket 1 because there was no rhyme or reason, right, to putting these together. We just kind of. It is what it is. Because there's so many different genres and stuff, so we just put them all in however order. But
you can say we put them in the watch box and randomly pick them out.
There you go. So we have 1 through 8. We'll just list them in order right now, right? Number 1 in this bracket, The Exorcist.
Yes.
Number 2, The Birds.
Yes.
Number 3, the Friday the 13th franchise.
Yes, sir.
Number 4, Blair Witch Project. Well, I guess we can say the other movie as well, right?
Yeah.
What was another movie?
Well, I think number 2 we had actually Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, shoot. My bad.
Yeah. And then number 3 we had Friday the 13th. 4 we had the Blair Witch Project. 5 we had Twilight Zone, so we had that.
Twilight Zone the movie.
Twilight Zone the movie. Yes. Thank you for clarifying, Luck. Yes. 6 we had Cannibal Holocaust, which I think that was something a lot of people didn't know about either as well. 7 we had The Birds, which may have touched a few nerves because that's Alfred Hitchcock classic, right?
Yes, sir.
And 8 we had The Willies.
Yes.
Which is
rounding out
a lucky classic.
Okay. So in true bracket style, our first matchup is going to be number 1 versus number 8.
And so let's talk about this. Are we going to come out with a number 1 from the bracket? Are we? Is it just going to be 1 at the end of this?
Yes.
Okay. Or are we just okay? we're gonna break it
So-
down to 4.
So this bracket, we'll get down to a number 1, right? And then we'll do the same for the other 3 bracket that are left of 8. And then we'll
And
do
then
an
we'll have a
episode of the final 4.
Okay.
All right. At least that's the plan.
Oh yeah. I mean, this one, just by the pure bracket alone, by these names in the bracket alone, we're gonna knock out some heavy hitters in this one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Woo!
And I was looking at it. 'Cause, sometimes you look at it like, oh, okay, that's the movie that's gonna win, but I'm not too sure.
I'm thinking about it right now. Look, like I don't know. I'm with you right there. Of course, there's probably a pure number 1 favorite, and it's the top on most people's lists. And we can just start off right now with the first bracket. Number 1 versus number 8 is The Exorcist versus the Willies.
All right.
And
let's just start with the Willies, just because.
Okay.
Let's knock it out.
Okay. So the Willies, 1990. Again, the major star in this is Sean Astin, fresh off of
The Goonies.
The Goonies, which while we agree is legendary, Luck has it above Monster Squad for some reason.
That's facts.
Yeah. I just, I know a lot of people think we've known each other for a long time, but I've just known Luck for about 2 years now.
I think so, yeah.
So I'm working on that, by the end of our friendship, Monster Squad will be his favorite fucking movie.
Okay. Because Wolfman has nards. Let's go.
Yeah.
So Sean Astin, although he is in this movie, he's barely in the movie.
Yeah.
I think it was just a name draw. You know what I mean?
And
put him on the cover because he was hot at the time, and trying to make something out of nothing.
Okay. This is fresh off the Goonies. What's the Goonies? Who are they chasing down? One Eye Willie, right?
Yeah.
This movie's called The Willies. His name is the same as in the Goonies.
And they even
Did
reference it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you watch it? You watched it on Tubi?
It was on Tubi. It was on YouTube as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you
I
watch
watched a little bit of it. I didn't watch it all.
Okay.
Now,
I feel you.
when you talk about this movie, the thing that you fail to mention is the thing that I believe if you told people, hey, this is the movie where this happens, more people would remember this. Because they put a fucking dog in a microwave in this movie.
Yes.
It's not funny. Look.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Oh, shit.
And I think more what I remember, like the beginning of this movie is probably better than the rest of the movie. If you know what I mean.
No.
Like the little. So. We'll get into it. So it starts off, right?
Before they get into it, yeah.
Yeah, because there's like two main stories, but like the little things that they talk about before that, I think maybe are better. I don't know. It's still I still like it.
It's right there, late 80s. Gotta imagine it was made around 88, 89, right? Comes out in 1990, so it's right there, right on the verge, that classic. But I think we're getting away from the cheese, but it was still in that cheesy little area right there.
Yeah. And I love that. I love it at the beginning.
Yeah.
So those who don't know this movie, so it's probably 99% of you guys. It starts off, they're kind of these kids. I think they're cousins. And they're having like a little camp out in the backyard, telling scary stories. they're talking about, oh, what are we gonna do? And this guy, one of them was like, oh, I brought my video game cartridges, and they're like, what the hell are we gonna do with video game cartridges?
What are we gonna play it on?
He's like, oh yeah. And then they just start telling stories.
Well, I think there's a bit too, right, where like something gets announced about someone on the run or some shit like that, right, or something that they shouldn't be outside, you know?
Right. But like I said, one of my favorites is the little kid talking about what's grosser than gross, and
yeah. And
I remember after this movie came out, like I was out, at school telling people, oh, what's grosser than gross, and just making stuff up. Like one I remember, it's like, what's grosser than gross? And he says, 10 dead puppies in a barrel. And what's grosser than that? 1 dead puppy in 10 barrels. Like,
you're like, so you're telling people this at school, and then no one's seen this fucking movie, so no one knows what you're talking about. You're just
like,
a
what
weird kid in school now.
Weirdo.
Hey, Luck, yeah, what's grosser than gross? Yeah, that
guy. What helped is I moved a lot when I was young, so yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably
so
a good
you just
thing.
became the weird kid in school. Yeah. Because you assumed that motherfuckers watched this movie when nobody did, man. I was reading a little bit on it, and it poor reception. The director, it was the only movie he directed, but he was an actor in a lot of stuff. Dude came out in fucking X2. So he's in a bunch of stuff. He was in Last American Virgin.
All right.
Classic. But yeah, man, like, again, they tried to play off of Sean Austin, and the other thing about it, man, it looked like it was like filmed on home video or some shit like that, right? I was just like,
for real. Like, I have the DVD, and it's like really grainy. It looks like, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, is it because I'm watching it on YouTube or what the hell? But yeah, again, it tried. The only other person that I saw of any fucking semblance in that movie, but I saw this on IMDb. I didn't even see him in the damn movie. Was Doug Benson? Doug Benson?
Yeah, I don't even remember him in the movie.
Yeah, he was a zombie. It says.
The only other guy I recognize really is this guy named Michael Bauer. I don't know if you watched the last story about the flies. Maybe
no, I didn't see that.
So there's so this movie is kind of like an anthology. They tell little stories, and then there's two main stories. The last story is about this weird kid named Gordy Belcher, and he's got this weird habit that or hobby. He collects flies, right? And like he pulls off their wings, and like he puts them in little dioramas and stuff, and he's a fucking wacko. But and there's a point where he makes cookies with the flies, and he gives them out to this little girl and makes her eat flies. It's totally gross.
Again, like, I remember that. Like, that's something I remember. But just the name of the movie itself, I'm like, I do not remember that.
So weird. But yeah.
Yeah. The other thing about it came out, and anthology movies were still being made, right? You had, the other one that's on this list is Twilight Zone, the movie, right here, in this bracket. But Creepshow,
yes. Tales from the Crypt, Tales from the Dark Side.
Tales from the Dark Side. There were shows called Tales from the Dark Side. There was a show called Monsters. The Outer Limits, if you remember that one. Used to have fucked up shit on there. And then I was around the time, too, of Mulder and Scully, right?
Early 90s. Early 90s.
Yeah. So yeah, man. I mean, you could see, at the time, as a kid, we had they were trying to hit this genre. You had a show called Erie, Indiana. That was one of these shows, and I want to say it was on Nickelodeon, and they were trying to get that kid audience. But at the same time, you had what was it called? Was it Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark or something like that? Do you remember that?
So, yeah.
So again, it was swing and a miss, but it was a good movie, man. Like, there's a couple of things in there to fuck you up. It was no Tales from the Hood, but it was pretty good.
Yeah. The IMDb rating is a whopping 5.1 out of 10. Like I said, it's not the greatest movie, but it, as a kid, it just has so much. It brings back memories. Like
it's called a cult classic now. So I mean, there's people that are into it.
I just think the two main stories were a little long and they were drawn out a little bit. If they tried to cut them a little tighter, it probably would have been a little better. Throw in another story. But like I like the small short ones at the beginning though. Like when you tell the story of the lady that went to go get fried chicken. Did you see that one?
Yeah.
Because at the first they were just trying to tell gross stories. This lady buys a bucket of chicken. She sits down and eat it, and it ends up being a rat.
Yeah. She was fucking munching too.
I know. Tell me you don't see. The rat.
So I don't know, man. Sometimes you're hungry, bro. And you're just like, good rat. Like, to quote fucking Sylvester Stallone in what's in Demolition Man. Good rat.
Hey, meat's meat, right?
It's like, where do you think that burger's coming from?
Okay, so Willie's, it's a nostalgia thing for me. When you get a chance, you should watch the other stories, or you didn't catch it all, but like I said, I liked it. I just wanted to throw it in here.
But again, I mean, that's what, to me, that was this list is all about. These are movies that were, I mean, not going to necessarily say that it's the greatest of all time or whatever, or, there's movies on the top 10 or top 100 fucking horror lists that didn't make our list and shit like that. But these are movies for us, right? Like, I think for us.
Right. So that was number 8 against number 1. This one's all you, man.
Yeah, and The Exorcist, man. I mean, 1973 is the release date for this. Ellen Bernstein, who, I mean, from what I remember her still killing it, like when she did Requiem for a Dream in the 2000s. So Linda Blair, who did this one, and then I think she was in part 2 as well. But then she did Repossessed. Do you remember that? It's a little bit of a comedy one. And then I think one day we'll get into more of the comedy aspect of the horror movies, and we can rate some of those and talk about some of those. But Repossessed was one of those that she did and kind of built on The Exorcist fame. The main priest in there, his name is Jason Miller. That dude kind of gave me the creeps for the longest time. Like, I know he's supposed to be the hero in the movie and shit like that. But Father Damien, man, like he looked fucking hardcore. But just everything about this movie, right? Like, I know this one's listed in a lot of fucking things as the number 1 scary movie of all time. But I remember being into horror movies as a kid and not wanting to watch this movie because I was fucking scared of it.
Yeah, I'll say for the same reason, because people always say it's scary. I've never seen the whole thing. I've seen bits and pieces, all the major parts, but I don't think I've actually like sat down and watched it from start to finish.
No way. There's rewatchability in it. It takes something out of you. Like when you watch this movie, it fucks you up because some of the things that you see in this movie, it's like, the masturbating with the crucifix and she fucking at the same time with that same blood slaps her mom and the blood splattered across her face. Seeing the fucking like the demon and stuff like that, and just how dirty and dusty it is in the beginning. Like, I don't know, you never expect some of this shit, and like some of this stuff, like the devil kind of stuff, fucks with me and creeps me out, man.
Yeah, like I said, I think that's why I've never watched it from beginning to end, just because the whole reputation of it, like, oh, it's scary, and yeah, it creeps me out.
So like, of course it's Linda Blair. She's a kid in this movie. I want to say she made it. She's 12, 13 years old. She does some shit in this movie. She had a body double, of course, but this is basically a little kid you're seeing getting fucking ravaged by this monster from the inside out. And the way it starts off is them playing with a Ouija board. So that scared me, for the longest time. I want to say the first time I saw it, I was maybe 10 years old. And it was one of those scenes where I always talked about like, Karate Kid and stuff like that. First time I saw that was with a group, like a family. We all fucking sat down in the living room and we all watched this movie. Well, I saw it with some of my older cousins, and my older cousin and her boyfriend were there, and these were 18, 19-year-olds already, bro. And they're watching it at my mom's house. We're all there in the living room, and they didn't want to fucking drive home. Like, they were scared to drive home. They spent the night there at my mom's house because they were scared to go. Or I want to say we all went to their house and spent the night because they didn't want to stay at their house alone. But yeah, man, like this movie fucked me up as a kid. I remember it got re-released in 98, 99, and that was prime fucking high school dating time for me. So me and the wife hit that up a bunch. It's tops for me, man. I watch it now at least once a year around Halloween time. But you're right in saying like it's a watch, man. Like it's there's some scary shit.
Yeah, so I think it's safe to say who's gonna win this this first one.
Okay.
Let's just say, Exorcist is gonna beat the Willies without a doubt. Like I said, I threw Willies in there just to represent. So, but,
I gotta put mine out there.
Like I said, you've never seen it before, so maybe there'll be others out there that will want to check it out. I mean,
but I'm telling you, like,
it's worth seeing.
It's
worth seeing once.
If you tell people, hey, have y'all seen this movie where they put a white, what is it, like a poodle in a microwave? They're going to be like, I fucking remember that movie. Yes, I've seen that fucking movie.
But it's like, who does that? That lady washed her dog, and to dry it off, she didn't put the dog in a microwave. And they just put it in there for like 3 minutes.
And you're fucking watching it like, oh my God, man, what are we going to see?
Yeah. All right. It was close, but yeah, Exorcist for sure.
Exorcist just did X that one out. No upset there. Let's go down to our next bracket, and we got let's do it like the NBA does it. We go down to our bottom bracket, and we got, number 4 and number 5. We got and this is going to be the match, right? Like,
yeah.
Blair Witch versus Twilight Zone. I gotta say, like Twilight Zone got, I want to say, more votes than Blair Witch from our watchers.
I think that sounds about right, but
yeah,
we could talk about it. You're bringing up the post.
Yeah, well, I got it here. Twilight Zone. I mean, Blair Witch has 2 votes. Twilight Zone has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 votes.
All right, so let's just talk about Twilight Zone, the movie. Oh, this was another one that creeped me out as a kid. Another anthology. So, like you said, this second anthology in this group. Man, I just all of them, really. I mean, we talked about it a little bit. One thing I wanted to mention last time. Remember when I think it's towards the end when he starts managing all these cartoons in the house, and when he imagines the Tasmanian devil coming out of the TV, I was like, oh
yeah.
That was so creepy when they showed him.
Yeah, because it was almost like a non-cartoon like Tasmanian devil, right?
I guess they couldn't make him look exactly like Taz, right?
Yeah. The other thing was too. Do you remember the Dan Aykroyd part where he's like, "You want to see something really scary?"
Yeah.
Oh man, when that monster that he does, he's like, pull over, and he's like, no, what do you mean pull over? He's like, pull over. It's like, come on. And it's just 2 friends fucking driving around, and, you know, they're just trying to entertain each other while they fucking drive. And it has that fucking scene, dude, and it's just his face. I'm surprised I haven't seen that mask anywhere, because that's a scary fucking part.
Yeah. You know which? Do you have a favorite story out of this movie?
It would have to be there's something on the plane, right?
Okay.
That's mine. It's got the little girl in there. I remember her from fucking Cloak and Dagger. John Lithgow, who, man, that dude
who's in Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah. I was gonna say, besides Harry and the Hendersons, he's done a fucking shitload of great fucking movies.
That dude,
he can play a villain. He's fucking great.
Yeah, I think that guy's underrated too, man. I know he's getting up there in age, but I mean, he even played like. Do you ever see this movie called with Robin Williams, The World According to Garp?
I believe so.
He played his Robin Williams' mom, and he was like transgender mom at the time. It was, I mean,
and that's at the time when that shit wasn't around.
Yeah, it's like that dude can play anything.
He did a movie with Denzel Washington called I want to say it's called Ricochet. It's he plays a badass fucking villain, like a scary fucking villain. There's another movie, and my brother would be mad if I didn't mention this. He actually brought it up to me and said if it would be in our Christmas bracket. A movie called Santa Claus. Do you remember that? It's with Dudley Moore?
Yeah. Santa Claus the movie.
Santa Claus the movie, yes.
I vaguely remember the storyline. Something had to do something with like the candy canes were like, I don't know, they exploded or something, or I don't know.
Yeah, they were like powered candy canes, and it's a movie I think we'll get into. But yeah, man, John Lithgow and the whole there's something on the plane. He gets kissed by it. He's the only one that can see it, or he's the only one that does see it until the end, where he's getting dragged away, and then while he's getting driven away, it's fucking Dan Aykroyd that's driving him.
Mm-hmm.
So I loved it.
My favorite one, and I don't know, this was before Cocoon, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
I like the story about the old folks' home, and you got
hell yeah.
what's his name, Scat Man, whatever, right?
Scatman Brothers, yeah.
He I forgot how he does it, but they start turning young, or they're like little kids, really, and they're just having the time of their life. To me, I always like that story. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and this was, dude, this is, I want to say, this was 83, bro, that this came out.
Yeah, it had to have been before Cocoon.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, like, I mean, I don't mean to say it like this, but I think it would have, had that accident not occurred in the movie, it may have been a bigger movie, because the accident occurs and I want to say there's not a lot of, I guess, promotion that went into it afterwards from the studio or the people involved.
Yeah, because like I said, this was a damn good movie.
Yeah. Again, one of my favorite parts is the kid, and as good as this movie is, it's like you've seen it. Had you not seen this movie, you've seen the scenes of it portrayed in other stuff. The Simpsons famously did Bart as the kid. They did Bart as the something on the bus. Scene there. I want to say there's a couple others that they have done as well, but it was great, man. It's a great movie. The kicking the can thing. I mean, it doesn't have to be explained to you, right? Like you right away which kids or what's going on there, right? That the old people turned into kids,
right?
And you got to give credit where credit's due, and you think about the Twilight Zone original, the show, and that's what got all these people wanting to be involved in this movie and stuff like that. So it was great, man. Like top to bottom, I don't think there was a bad scene in any of it. So yeah, man, it definitely deserves the love that the watchers gave it.
And and as a young kid too, the lady that's in there, looking up her name, Kathleen Quinlan.
The one with the kid?
Yeah, she's pretty hot.
So you think that kid was a cochino?
Yeah, of course.
One of the great things too is the movie it's going against. We got to give credit where credit's due, man. This movie started a genre. And you could say both of these movies, right? Like that's the good thing. That's an awesome thing about them being against each other is they both, like, Twilight Zone is the first in the anthology movies that I remember seeing. Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's people that are going to be like, you fucking idiot. There was anthology movies before that. I'm sure there was, but this is the first one I remember. Creepshow, everything I believe came after that. I'll fucking verify so I don't look like that much of a dumbass. But, you can say Blair Witch is the first found footage movie.
Was it?
I don't know. Was it?
That was another movie you brought up in this bracket.
Found footage, though?
It's part of the movie.
The Cannibal Holocaust. Oh, fuck. You're 100% correct. What's the first one we remember? Because I saw Blair Witch before I saw fucking Cannibal Holocaust.
But like we mentioned it before,
you're right. Yeah,
this movie though, Blair Witch Project, outstanding marketing because, like you said, had a lot of people fooled. I was fooled. I'm not gonna lie. There was a lot of people that thought it was the real deal.
Yeah.
They did a really good job of like promoting it as if it was really about these missing kids and they just, with the found footage, this movie was put together. That's the way they made it seem.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy about this movie, because it was most of it looked like it was filmed from a camcorder. A lot of people got sick from this movie. My wife got sick after watching this movie.
In the theater?
Like motion sickness. Yeah, like I remember. I remember seeing it when it first came out, and me and my girlfriend at the time, my wife now, but we got, as soon as we got out of the movie, my wife like ran to a trash can and just threw up. It's like,
no way.
I was like, what the hell? I was like, you better not be pregnant. No. But no, it was
you're like, man, it was making out with me that bad? But
but now it was the motion sickness, and I was like, what? I thought that was crazy at the time, but then I heard like a lot of people got that way after watching this. But
well, that was one of the things too, right? It came out and there was the reviews. Now, when it came out, I think I talked about it last time. There was a special that came out at the time, and in that special, it promoted it as real. The special came out on the Sci-Fi Channel, which I should have known it was fucking fake. But it wasn't at the end like all things in this, you know, were dramatized. It was shown as real. So I bought in hook, line, and sinker. Took the wife to watch it and thought it was fucking crazy. I thought, man, we're gonna get our first fucking view, a good view of a ghost on camera. Like, right. We're gonna see it. And the shit that we saw during the movie, if you can imagine seeing it and imagining that it was real, it was some fucked up shit. Like, you got a favorite part or a scariest part to you in the movie?
I mean, like I said last time, you don't see anything, right, in this movie. There's no monster. There's nothing. You just have them talking about stories they heard or whatever. And, you know, we should have saw it coming. When they started talking about, oh, such and such happened, and they just saw this dude standing in the corner. We're like, what? What are they talking about? And then when we get that reveal at the end of the dude standing in the corner, I'm like, oh, my God. That's like, that was like, you don't see nothing, but I mean, that was the scariest shit.
To me, it's the one scene where they wake up in the tent and they can hear kids outside. And he says something like to the effect of, there's like, it sounded like there's a baby out there, and he's like, there's not a baby out there. How's there a baby out there? And then they're like, put your stuff on. And as they're putting their stuff on, the tent starts getting fucked with.
Yeah.
That scene got me, man. Like, I was like, oh shit. Cause they're like, okay, we're just gonna go. And they're running, and you hear her scream, oh my God, what was that? What the fuck was that? While they're running, it was so fucking scary. Such a tripped out movie. Such a tripped out scene to me. Again, thinking it was real at the time. It was badass. Like that was cool to me. You know, once I found out that it was fake, I was like, oh man, they got me. But dude, that movie again. I gotta bite my tongue now because I just found out that Creepshow came out before Twilight Zone.
All right.
So,
we need it. Where's our fact checker? Facts?
Yeah. Where's Chuck at? But the part about that is, so I mean, Twilight Zone, of course, the show
was before that.
You know, fucking decades before, you know. So,
but
again,
Blair Witch too. Just the impact on pop culture. I mean, how many times have you seen that scene mimicked with the close up of the girl and her mocos are all coming down? You know, what I mean that's been redone in parodies and other movies and shows and stuff. You know what I mean? Just that impact, right? The cultural impact was big on that movie too.
I don't know, man. Like, okay, I want to go to the Watchers and go Twilight Zone.
This is why I said we really want to. I'm glad we got your feedback, Watchers. We got your feedback, but there was so many things going on. We really wanted to get on a guest or someone to give us some other input. I think this is a close one, but I like Twilight Zone, man.
Okay, I'm with you. Look, I'm with you. I got to go with the Watchers. Maybe a Blair Witch 2 didn't suck so much, and then I got to give, they had that re-release, right? Or they made it again. Did you watch that at all? No, I didn't either.
But I think you're right. I think it would have been better just as a one and done. Sometimes we want more, but sometimes we should just left it alone.
Yeah, no, totally fucking agree. But yeah, you're right. We're gonna go with Twilight Zone. So 5 beats 4. That's our first upset.
Yep.
Again, these lists were just randomly so.
Big upset.
Oh, shit. So we're gonna go with another one, and I want to say, like I said, there's number 7 on this list is for us the Birds, and that might be just because of how old it is. And again, I didn't grow up watching a lot of Alfred Hitchcock stuff, but I knew of it, right? Like I'm historically, like, a horror fan, so I know the roots. We don't have any of the old Universal monster movies on here, but I love them. Like, I can watch them. But those are typically the movies that my wife's like, yeah, you can watch that one by your fucking self. I ain't watching that old shit. It's classically not great, right? So it is what it is,
That's part of the charm.
Yeah.
Part of the charm.
I mean, well, why wasn't Birds higher on our list? Because it's a fucked up movie. It's scary.
It's scary because we see it every year at HEB.
Fucking Chuck told me that the Birds are at HEB because here everybody's better.
Oh shit! Is there anybody that thinks that's what HEB stands for?
I was always told hungry eating bastards, but it is what it is. I just know I'm not buying my fucking groceries at Walmart.
Yeah, but HEB has scared everybody else out. What other grocery store? What other grocery store do you know of?
Well,
besides La Fiesta.
I was gonna fucking say La Fiesta. I know we don't all live in the north side and have a Costco to go to, or a farmer's market, or
but I mean
HEB Organics.
But I mean, I'm sure you've been here long enough. We used to have Kroger. We used to have Albertsons.
Albertsons as well, yeah.
We used to have Handy Andy. I mean, where are all the other grocery stores? They don't exist.
And that's the thing too, right? Like, because I travel a lot, and you go to another town where there's a fucking Kmart or a Kroger or an Albertsons, you're fucking taking pictures while you're there. Like,
you're like,
look at me. Look at me at Handy Andy, bro.
I late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
I lived in the Fort Worth area, and up there we had a Winn-Dixie, and I'm like, what the hell is a Winn-Dixie? It's like all these other grocery stores I wasn't used to. It's like, where's the HEB? There's no HEBs up here.
Yeah. You go to Florida and it's called like the Publix or some shit like that.
Yeah, that's weird.
But okay, so the birds.
Yeah, the birds.
And I mean, if you've ever been in the HEB parking lot while all these motherfuckers are there, you know what the fuck we're talking about, man. Like, imagine if these motherfuckers flocked anywhere near you, you'd be scared. If you ever been to fucking Corpus and you're eating something on the beach, and those fucking seagulls start coming on, it could scare you,
bro. When they're like all up on you, like in your face,
yeah,
it's scary. And those are seagulls, right?
Yeah.
But if you had these black fucking macaws or crows, whatever you want to call them, all up in your face like that, shoot, come on.
And that's all. This movie is due for a fucking like a remake or an update, because the shit that I think that they could do now and get all fucking birds involved. Can you imagine these big bitches that you see on the side of the road eating something, fucking flying at you? You know what I mean?
Oh
yeah,
dude, you gotta. They should do it with the bird robot thing.
I told you they're not robots; they're holograms, bro. Holograms.
Shit, it'd still be scary.
But this movie, they mostly use blackbirds. I saw that there was, I don't know if it's called The Birds 2, but I know there's a second movie with birds in it, or another movie with birds in it, and they do use seagulls, right? Because it's near the beach. But this movie, they mainly use crows, and it's scary as fuck. Like this bitch getting attacked. Again, it's another one of these classics that you've seen redone or mimicked everywhere, like by movies, by TV shows, by cartoons. So it hits a nerve, man. But it is one of those older movies, and I mean, the last time I watched it, I couldn't even fucking tell you, bro. I don't know if I have watched it all like in one sitting as well.
Yeah. I just remember seeing scenes where like the birds like busting through the old phone booths and
in the phone booth,
windows, and like that's just crazy. Crazy.
Nowadays, people be like, "What the fuck is she in? What's that random box on the street?"
I know. Where's Superman gonna change into his outfit? God damn.
Yeah, and if you're fucking England, it's like isn't that Doctor Who still or some shit like that? Like, I don't know. I don't watch that shit.
I don't watch that shit. We'll probably lose some people after that. Sorry.
Tell them, look, we're nerds. We're just not.
Yeah, we're not fucking nerds.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure if like I sat down and like watched Doctor Who, it might be cool, but ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, that's a big fucking sigh, man. Like, nah, I'm good, man. But The Birds is going against probably, it's been one of the most classic fucking movies I've ever seen. It's up there on everyone's list, and Texas has got to represent, right? Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yes, sir. Have you been to the place? I know there's that. What is it? The gas station, or there's like a little place that was in the movie there, like you can actually stay at or visit.
I want to say the gas station from the first movie they turned into
like a tourist thing, right?
Yeah, like where you can stay the night. Now Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it's been done, it's been redone. There's different movies that came out of it. I saw that there was a video game made about it as well. But Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I want to say early 80s.
I'd say it's been mimicked a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Because like you say, some of the later ones, it's kind of like more about like the whole family is screwed up.
Yeah. Like a family.
Kind of gives me like, I don't know if it was Devil's Rejects or it has that same kind of vibe to me. I don't know.
Yeah. And this was Tobe Hooper, who, I mean, he went on to be a classic horror director as well. But this is, I guess, the movie that kind of launched him as a badass. He did Salem Slot later on. And then he did Poltergeist. But do you ever hear the story kind of behind Poltergeist? I mean, we'll get into it when we talk about it. But, I hear that he didn't really direct it. It was more Steven Spielberg.
That makes sense.
But, I mean, Tobe Hooper's a classic horror director. Has made plenty of fucking movies that we've all seen on shows as well. But, this is the thing that launched him. And Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I mean, God, that... Just the way it was made, it looked very indie.
Yes.
I mean, this early fucking 70s, so I'm sure it was. But, see the people get stabbed, get cut, shit like that. It's just a fucked up movie, man.
I like that. I like that look, though. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. It adds to it big time. Big time.
I think if it was clean looking, it wouldn't, I don't know. It would be more cheesy. And
that's what I think the problem is with a lot of the remakes, reboots that came after that movie. You watch some of the newer versions and it just doesn't look as raw,
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It looks cheesy. But, the problem is, though, too, the generation now is like, what scares them? You know what I mean? Like I said, if this movie was never made and it just came out now, people would be like, I
don't know. You think so? Like there's fucked up, like, dude, the whole family thing is messed up. The first time we see Leatherface, I mean, to this day, man, gets me. When he just busts out that fucking room and then grabs her. Yeah, then the first thing he does is hang her up on a hook. Like,
yeah, but I'm saying back then, and because it was made back then, it has that deeper feel. I'm just saying, like, kids nowadays, people nowadays, they're like, they're not scared.
I just use my GPS to get out of being lost, that's what, my kid told me the other day, you're exactly right, is the other day I was talking to him about, like, driving and stuff, and I was like, you got to know these roads and stuff like that. It's like, no, I just use my fucking maps or he has an iPhone, so, again, he'll just use his fucking location to get there, or locator to get there. And I'm like, dude, there's going to be times when you're outside of fucking Wi-Fi range or outside of cell phone range. What are you going to do then? It's like, yeah, no. It's in the olden days.
That's the scary part, man. It's like, sometimes I catch myself too. Like, I depend on the maps and stuff, and
yeah,
if I don't know where I'm going, it's like, it almost makes you think, how did we do it back in the days? But
and dude, we're in Texas, so you're fucking driving, and that's what makes this thing extra scary. Because don't tell me that you've ever driven for a long time in Texas and having gotten on a back road where you're like, some Texas Chainsaw Massacre bullshit out here.
Yeah, like I said, I joke using Google Maps, but sometimes I'm questioning Google. I'm like, is this the right way? Where are you taking me?
Yeah, I mean, I joke around that you live in kind of fancy neighborhood, but going out to Cibolo sometimes, or going past you and going out to like New Braunfels and shit, you can get on some back roads out there that you're like, where the fuck am I at? Yes. Do people live out here? Is there civilization? What the fuck?
Yep. Like, I used to work for the cable company. And this was right before there was ever an iPhone. And we literally use map books. And
yeah.
Sometimes I was like, I don't know where the fuck I'm at.
Oh, fuck. But yeah, man, like I'm telling you right now, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it's gonna win this one for me, and this movie has launched so many movies behind it, good or bad. There's a lot of stuff that has come out of it, and it's scary. The only newer movie that I could say that maybe kind of gets close to it is like House of a Thousand Corpses. That when that first came out, that movie kind of fucked with me a lot too, or not necessarily fucked with me, but kind of hit those same feels that Texas Chainsaw Massacre had.
It might have been what I was talking about. I think I said Devil's Rejects, but it might have been that one.
Yeah, those movies run one and the same with me, and I probably should have gotten them put on the list at some point, but I was feeling more nostalgic and going older.
Yeah, we had to put in all the obvious classics in here.
So
I'm with you.
Yeah,
Texas Chainsaw Massacre beats out The Birds.
And again, this was another one that, if you asked our watchers, we got more hits on Massacre than The Birds. Texas Chainsaw Massacre was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 votes. The Birds actually did get 2 votes, but that was a couple of people that couldn't pick and threw them all in. Which, hey, we agree with you guys. We love all of these fucking movies. It's just, it's Halloween madness and it's horror madness, and we want to pick a winner. And I'm back. Bro, you know that feeling when you thought you finished all your good beer and then there was one more fucking left?
What is that? What is that?
Deftones beer? It's a good day. All right, so I mean, I haven't looked at the time. Are we breezing through these, or are we fucking taking long?
We're over an hour.
All right,
that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. Break it up like this, because if not,
yeah. All right, man. So, let's get into our last two.
Yep.
Friday the 13th. And did you get a chance to watch any of this? Cannibal Holocaust.
Okay. I didn't watch the movie per se, but I watched a pretty good review that I found on YouTube. So I was like, I don't have time to watch it. I was like, I need Cliff Notes or something about this movie. So yeah, I forgot who the guy was that did the video. But I guess he reviews movies. He has like this mask on. I don't know. He has some weird name, but he did a pretty good job. So I understand what's going on in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, you were wrong about found footage movies.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Cannibal Holocaust. Did I write down 1990?
Was it 1990?
Or did I see the wrong date? No, 80. I can't even read my own handwriting.
I first saw this. This is 1980.
1980.
Yeah. I first saw this movie, 99, 2000, somewhere around there. It's like you're getting around, it's around the time the internet comes out, right? Like or gets big and gets more common. You start hearing about these fucking classic movies that, hey man, you can only get this movie on VHS. It's so fucked up and stuff like that. And Cannibal Holocaust I came across, and it was one of these movies that I watched and I was ashamed to have fucking watched. Like, I thought it was fucking porn or something, man. Like, I was like, ah, damn, this movie's crazy.
Well, some of it, I think, right? Because, so, I guess this was what the plot is, right? According to IMDb, it says, during a rescue mission into the Amazon rainforest, a professor stumbles across lost film shot by missing documentary crew. So supposedly there was these kids that, or I don't know if they were kids. These people that went out to shoot a documentary on like one of those like lost tribes, right? And and from what I watched, like they were just fucking with those people the whole time.
Yeah, the tribalists.
Yeah, like I don't know if no, I thought the people were fucking with the tribe.
No, the people were fucking with the tribe, and then the tribe kind of decided to strike back.
Yeah, but like that was like the most fucked up part that I saw about it. It's like, they were fucking with these people, right? They're like burning their huts down, and I think they said in one part where they took a girl out and raped her. Mm-hmm. And it's like, what? It's like they were trying to make their documentary more interesting or what? Yeah, and then like you said, that tribe said, fuck y'all, and started killing them.
And, again, some of the things that I remember from this movie, it's like when the tribe kind of gets back or it's because it's the girl that they take out to rape. The tribe kills her, and I guess because she got raped by them.
Yeah, because the whole virginity thing or something.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, and again, these people, it's 1980, like it said, and it's one of these late movies. Or late 80s, late 70s, early 80s movies that were kind of like this, right? Like, not like this, but that were kind of on the like indie side of movie making. You know what I mean? Like they kind of took chances and did some shit that, again, a lot of it hasn't been replicated, but it's fucked up shit, right? Like you've seen it.
It is. But I thought it was crazy. It's like this video I was watching about it was talking about like the director. The director, he says, a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Because like just the whole conditions that they treated the actors and whatever during this whole time, like you're talking about the animals that you see killed in the movie, they actually killed those animals.
Actually killed them. Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? Who does that anymore? Or who does that at all?
And it wasn't like, well, I guess, like I said, like late 70s, early 80s. Some of the other movies that you've seen around this time are like that, right? Like they were kind of made fucked up. Like I saw a movie made recently that kind of replicated a lot of what we see with Cannibal Holocaust, and it was called Green Inferno. And this movie was fucked up. Like, have you? I don't know if you've seen this one, but it was made by Eli Roth, and it's almost the same kind of fucking premise, but it wasn't, you know, what it was and stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of stuff in Cannibal Holocaust that looked fucking real, man. Like, looked crazy real.
That sounds familiar, though. Wasn't that the name of the movie that the documentary was supposed to be? I thought it was something.
I'm not sure, but
I thought
Green
it was
Inferno.
something Inferno.
Yeah, Green Inferno was made by Eli Roth, and Eli Roth talks about Cannibal Holocaust a lot, I guess about it being made and how much it influenced him. So I mean, that's fucking totally possible.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly, but because they were talking about the documentary that they were supposed to make. I thought it was something Inferno or something like that. But, yeah, it's just a fucked up movie. Even the guy reviewing it was like, this is a fucked up movie.
Like,
they were talking about...
Again, yeah, you feel weird after watching it.
You're talking about how it was kind of an evolved genre to where, like, way before this, they used to make movies just for shock and awe. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What do you call them? Mondo movies? If you've ever heard that term.
No.
I think that's what he called them. But they just do crazy stuff just to, like I said, just to be crazy. Kind of like they do stuff. Kind of like the Faces of Death movie. You ever see Faces of Death?
Yeah.
Like a lot of it was fake.
For shock.
A lot of it was fake, but it was just for shock and awe. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And they actually talk about there was a run in the 80s of Holocaust movies, of Italian Holocaust movies that were made, for this. You know, like you're saying, for shock and awe type and purposes and shit.
Like I said, I think eventually I want to see this, but I don't. But apparently, I guess maybe you can answer. But the found footage part is just like part of it. Like pretty much the main movie is about this guy that he went out there, right, and he found this footage, and like they say, like most of the movie is like him trying to decide whether they should air it or not. He's talking to TV producers and stuff, and it's like
there's some fucking there's a lot of there's some courtroom scenes, right, where they're talking about like, are you gonna release it, or like they're trying to get them for murder and shit like that. It's a lot of different shit, but a lot of the tribe that you're seeing too is you're it looks like a tribe, right? Like it looks like women and fucking and children. Some of the shit that you saw in the 80s when you saw Time Life books or something like that, you know what I mean?
Don't tell me you were one of them kids that went to look in the National Geographic to see some
some low hanging fucking titties and shit.
Do they even make those anymore? National Geographic magazine. Remember the little yellow magazines?
I don't know. Everything's on the fucking internet now. I don't know. I don't even think I've seen those. It's just like we were talking about Sports Illustrated a few weeks ago. It's like, man, it's magazines are a thing of the fucking past. You think about like all the shit that we like right, like all the comic book stuff and stuff like that. These were comic strips, kind of to start off with, and we don't even see those anymore. You know what I mean?
Okay, 'cause
comic strips in the newspaper.
Yeah,
remember those?
Yeah, what's a newspaper?
But yeah, man, Cannibal Holocaust is a fucked up fucking movie, man. And in the 80s, there was a lot of we talk 80s a lot. There's we talk about a lot of the classic comedies in the 80s. There was a few constants, but there was one constant classic horror movie that came out, and some were good, some were bad, but in the 80s we constantly had a little out there, and we had Friday the 13th, man. Well, which I mean, for me, that's classic slasher. I know they say everything was born out of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but this was a little bit different to me, man. Like I thought, the Jason character, once flushed out later on in the 80s, really fucking was a badass killer, and he's born from more Michael Myers, if you ask me.
I think so.
That masked killer.
Yeah. Same kind of vibes. But Jason was not the killer in all the movies.
Yeah. And he's that's one of those, I guess, bar trivia things, right? That they talk about nowadays. The bar trivia, and it's they get you good and drunk, and then they're like, who's the killer in Friday the 13th? And they're like, Jason, or another classic that's in our list, Screen talks about, like, who's the killer in Friday the 13th? And she's like, it's Jason. I've seen that movie 17 times or whatever the fuck. And she's like, then you would know it wasn't the killer.
Yeah. And,
Mrs. Voorhees was classically the killer in part 1.
Which that lady was scary.
Well, they famously talk about that one scene where they didn't cut it right, and, it got the male stand-in that seconded for her, and that male stand-in had a fucking, they record his hand with her sweater on it, and it's all hairy-ass knuckle and shit like that. Awesome. So yeah, she scared me too. But Jason, man, once it was revealed, he's the kid at the end and stuff like that, which that classic scene at the end was just kind of thrown in, and they built off of that, and once he came in as the I guess the supernatural being, the killer, and hit his own that way, My favorite Friday the 13th movie, I want to say, is like part 6 or something, and I go on from fucking there. I'm serious, man. I mean, it might be 5 or 4, something like that. But if you remember, there's that one where it turns out not to be him, but it's someone kind of pretending to be him. That whole movie from the psych ward. And then we get, I like Jason Lives, where at the beginning he gets fucking electrocuted and brought back to life. That's probably my favorite fucking Friday the 13th to me.
That's when it gets all crazy. Like I said, how some movies, they're almost supernatural. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Almost like super strength, super strong, can't kill him, whatever.
He's a superhero, basically.
Basically, he's a super villain. He's a super villain, right?
Yeah.
They're part of the Legion of Doom.
I don't know. Look, those kids were out there sinning, so, he might be a hero in some people's eyes. You never know.
Yeah, sure. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen half of those movies because, like you said, they get crazy at the end. But one creepy scene, it might be part 2 or 3. There's one with Corey Feldman.
Oh yeah.
When the part where he decides to shave his head or shave all his hair off, I don't know why that's so creepy to me.
And that too, like, this is Corey Feldman class. He's fucking teenage Corey. Yeah, and it's him like basically starting off. So he was still pretty good. Goonies came out. But the thing that I liked about him was he was a mask maker. Remember that? Like, so he had all these fucking crazy ass Halloween masks that no fucking teenage kid should have, right? Like, I mean, or not even fucking preteen kid should have it. It was crazy. But yeah, man. And then he attacks Jason at the end. There's some supernatural stuff going on where I want to say the sister, it always became this girl that would have like telekinetic powers to fuck with Jason, right? Or that's the only way we can fucking beat him.
They needed an 11.
Yeah. That's the cool thing about Stranger Things, right? It takes all these fucking 80s fucking tropes that we had, and they put them to use, and that's where 11 comes from.
Was it you that posted who would win, 11 or Matilda?
Oh yeah. People got pissed, like, oh, fucking 11 would wipe the floor with Matilda. I was like, whatever, man. 11 couldn't handle Miss Trunchbull.
I don't know, man. That's almost a good debate to have base a show around, because I mean, Matilda, shoot, her nose didn't bleed. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. She was in control of all her shit, right?
Yeah.
And like, I mean, I'll take Danny DeVito any day,
All right, but so Jason, one of the classics.
Yeah.
Even though it's fucked up, Cannibal Holocaust is. I got to go with Jason on this.
Yeah. I mean, Cannibal Holocaust is what it is, and was what it was. But you think about what Jason launched, or what Friday the 13th launched, and Jason's known everywhere, right? Like, you could put Jason or Friday the 13th out anywhere, and people know that mask and that look and everything like that. And it's crazy to think that it didn't even start that way. Think about the reboot. I know they tried to do a reboot of it, and when that came out, I didn't see so much, or I didn't think about so much when that came out. It went straight to he's the killer and everything like that. So I don't know if that's why it didn't fucking do as well, but it's something they need to revisit, because I like the way they showed how he kind of moved through underground shit there. And that's what made him so fast moving around the lake and stuff like that. But, I mean, I don't know. There's seriously lacking. But, dude, I like 6. Again, I go on from there. The next, Jason Lives, Jason Returns, whatever the fuck. There's a movie that a lot of people fucking shit on, called Jason X, where this motherfucker goes to space. And I love this fucking movie. Like, I can watch it anytime. No one does with me.
Wasn't his mask like metal or chrome? Like,
yeah. No. Basic and more nerds should have jumped on this, because they were giving us a fucking nod. He gets covered by kind of nanobites, and as it's by accident, of course, right? Because that's the only way this motherfucker comes back is by accident. He comes back and the nanobites cover his fucking decomposing body. The nanobites cover his body and fucking bring him back to life. And the nanobites, when they get on you, not only do they get on you, but they get on you and they improve you. So he comes back with a fucking all fucking strong, and the mask silver. It's all badass. His eyes are red. And then it was like when they died and they got frozen into space or something like that. He was killing this girl, and she comes back to life as well. You know, the nanobites fucking repair her. So she's right away like, where's he at? Like, and they're like, oh, don't worry about it. We got him put away. And she's like, no, you shouldn't have brought him aboard. And, you know, that fucking starts everything. And it's fucking crazy, man. But it's badass. It's fun, man. Like, he fucking fights, an android at the end, right? An android that's a woman that was created by a guy. So she's just there, and there's one part where like her breasts fall off, so he's fucking fixing her breasts. It's fucking funny. Now, there's one scene where they basically put Jason in a field simulator, and it's like he's walking inside of a room, and then it turns into Camp Crystal Lake. And there's a couple of girls there, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna have premarital sex and take drugs and alcohol."
Is that the way they said it? That's the way they said it.
Yeah, it's something like that, man. It's real cheesy. And dude, basically, fucking, he gets to relive a lot of old Jason kills. Like he fucking. I want to say he fucking puts them in a sleeping bag and beats them against a tree. It's fucking crazy. There's also Jason versus Freddy. You know, like you talked about last time, one of the first crossovers. So I got to go with Friday the 13th here.
Yes. So we got our 4 from this. We got a couple more. We got more to do here. Yeah. Since we're talking about Friday the 13th, you want to just jump into that one?
Yeah. And so how do you want to bracket these up? I say Exorcist and Twilight Zone, and then Chainsaw and Friday the 13th.
Well, I thought we were just keeping it at the top.
Okay. No, I'm good with that too. I gotta go Friday the 13th over Twilight Zone, and only because of everything that it's launched after it.
Man, you just jumped right into it. I thought we were gonna talk about what
you think.
I thought we were gonna talk a little bit, but
no. I mean, we can, you know,
that one. I like Twilight Zone, man. That's why we need to have another opinion. How between those two, what did the group say?
I mean, let's see. I really do have to count now. Again, Twilight Zone got a hell of a lot of votes. But let's see. So I got 1 for Twilight Zone, 2 for Twilight Zone, 1 for Friday the 13th, 3 for Twilight Zone, 2 for Friday the 13th, 3 for Friday the 13th, 3 for Twilight Zone, 4 for Twilight Zone, 4 for Friday the 13th. Ooh. 6-5 Twilight Zone from the Watchers.
I mean, if you want to use them as a tiebreaker, but
no, that's tiebreaker. Let's go we're going with Twilight Zone there.
And this was the biggest matchup I think that I had in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like Twilight Zone better, man. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you totally. It's a good pick by the watchers. I would say if you're going on a one-off movie, like you're gonna watch one movie or the other, you're probably gonna pick the Twilight Zone. You know what I mean?
Even though there's 100 to choose from, Friday the 13th. But.
Yeah. I mean, hey, we're not shitting on it.
No.
You know. I love, dude. I fucking love the cheesy. I mean, like I said, you and I both love the 80s. I know you said you haven't, watched it all or watched very many of them. You and I both love the 80s. This is an 80s horror movie.
Yes.
Plain and simple.
Yes.
But, okay.
So,
Twilight Zone.
If we go back up, number 1 versus number 2.
Yep. Now, first, before me and you say anything, let's count the watchers' votes.
Okay.
All right.
This is number 1. Number 1 Exorcist.
Yeah, 1-1.
Number 2, Chainsaw Massacre.
2-2. 3-3. 4-4. Oh shit. 5-5.
What? Is it that close?
6-6. Dude. 7 votes. And 7 for 7.
Wow.
Yeah. Everyone went 1 and 2 with their picks there. Now you can go. There was a couple of those votes that threw 7s in, that 2 was against. Sadly, there was no Willie's votes. Maybe I'll go with 1. There was one Willie's vote from my man James Gomez. But 7 for 7, bro. So it's gonna come down to you and I.
I mean, I think we can agree.
I don't know. Can we? You sounded like you were on one side of the fence there.
That was the other one. I'm pretty sure we can agree.
Okay. Okay.
You gotta go. I say Exorcist.
Yeah.
Right.
Again, there's a lot of people that'll say Texas Chainsaw Massacre launched the killer for us and everything like that. But when you're talking horror movies, the number 1 horror movie through and through, and this is to this day, is people talk about The Exorcist.
Yep. So to top out this bracket number 1, we have our number 1 seed, The Exorcist, versus the number 5 seed, Twilight Zone the movie.
Now, we know how the watchers feel, right? We talked about their votes. Twilight Zone got 5 votes. Exorcist got 7. Is there an upset in the making, Luck?
As much as I kind of fought for it in the last one, I mean, I really like Twilight Zone the movie. It's nostalgic. It's underrated, I believe, just because
very much so.
Just because, like you said, what became of it, what happened during the filming. But ultimately, I think we all knew going into this bracket that it's gonna have to be Exorcist.
Yeah, and that was the thing about having it in the same bracket, as the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which, you know, again, I've always seen as one of the best horror movies of all time. You know, The Exorcist is just, again, it's the best movie, the best horror movie for me, probably ever. But again, you know, I can be turned. You know, there was a part of me that thought you were thinking Texas Chainsaw Massacre might top The Exorcist for you, which, you know, I could probably be turned, man. Like I think the other way. There's another movie in our list, and I'm not gonna tip my hat anywhere, but there's other movies in this list that we put down that you know, could give it a run for the money.
All right. Yeah, when I first looked at this list, just glancing over it, Twilight Zone and Exorcist were probably my top two. And,
of the whole?
No, of this bracket.
Oh, okay.
This bracket. And, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Exorcist, no doubt.
Yeah. It's just, again, it did for horror movies. Like, it put horror movies up there. Again, it's number one on a lot of this for a reason. It's not just us, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's our first bracket. We have our first movie that's going to be in the Final Four.
Yeah. And, you know, I feel like man, The Exorcist fucking, like, you know, it's on the court cutting down the nets. Yeah, it's moving on. You know, I'm real proud of it, man. Again, it's fun talking these fucking movies. We could probably go on and on about them, but The Exorcist, man, I mean, what do you think, like, your favorite part, or you know, it gets quoted a lot, right? Like, do you have anything from that?
You know, just the whole, the head turning always got me. You know, I don't know. It is what it is. It's. I don't want to, you know, predict anything, but it's up there, right? It's
yeah.
It's deservedly so in the Final Four for this competition, for this bracket.
Yeah. So, what do you think? Like, next week, bracket number 2.
You have the list?
I gotta break it down. I gotta relook at the rest of our list and make sure I'm not putting too many heavy hitters in one bracket, and then we end up with a fourth bracket that's just shit.
We don't want any blowouts in the Final Four.
No. There's not gonna be any fucking gimmies in the Final Four, bro. It's gonna be the Final Four fucking scariest movies of our time.
All right. As long as there's no Monster Squad. No, I'm playing. This was a lot of fun. Like I said, we really want to try to bring someone on. We're going to work on that for this next bracket that Joe's going to put together.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, you know, Chuck's not too scared to come on. You know, he talked about coming in on a bracket that he wants to come in on. So I'm going to get with him and we'll find out what that fucking bracket is that'll get him on. Basically, he just doesn't, there's a couple of these movies that scare him so much, he gets nightmares. So he couldn't come in on one of those. That's what it was. You know, he didn't want me to say, and he didn't want me to tell you. So let's just keep that between me and
nightmares, you. As in Freddy Krueger?
Oh, I don't know. You know.
All right, so this was a lot of fun. We got the our first bracket down. Exorcist is in the final four.
Yes, sir.
Again, remember to follow us on Facebook. More so the Facebook group Now Watch This Watchers, where we have a lot of fun. We shoot out memes, some news as far as shows and movies coming out. It's a lot of fun. So come join us. Now Watch This Watchers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, we got TikTok, but basically, I mean, nowwatchthispod.com should be able to take you to most of that, right, Luck?
Nowwatchthispod.com will take you straight to our Spotify page, so where you can find all of our episodes. Well, maybe not the
all of our
ones.
Early Cochino episodes. Don't worry. Hey, we'll get back into the Cochino movies, guys. Don't worry. We still got it in us.
We did a run there, right? We did Zapped and Porky's. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We'll get back to that stuff after the holiday season. But remember, keep on watching.
Keep listening.
Here's Johnny.
I'll see you in hell.
Tell him Frank sent you.
She just goes a little mad sometimes. We all go a little mad sometimes.
What an excellent day for an exorcism.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Oh, yes. There will be blood.
What's in the box? What's in the fucking box?
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
You sick fucks. You've seen one too many movies.
Now, Sid, don't you blame the movies. Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos or create blood.
Where you going, Rudy?
I'm in the goddamn club, aren't I?
They're here.
You, man, what were you up to?
Just work and then
Well, you had some it's a homecoming week for y'all too, right? Like you said you had a busy house.
Homecoming. We had a bunch of people in here a little while ago. They just headed out to the homecoming dance.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Take pictures and everything?
Yeah. With my daughter's new boyfriend. So, you want to hear a funny story?
Okay.
So my
guys, y'all didn't see this, but before Luck came on, I saw him putting away his shotgun.
No. We didn't start the show yet, so this will be at the end. This will be a fun little story. So my daughter was dating this dude for about a year, and they're kids, right? So she's like, I'm not feeling this dude no more. So they broke up, right?
Yeah.
And now she's talking to a football player, which I don't mind. And but her ex-boyfriend thought that she was talking to this dude the whole time they were together, which I can say it's not true because she was whipped on this little kid before. But this guy's her ex's sister, right? She's probably early 20s. I guess I don't know, to get back at my daughter. I don't know. She put up a Craigslist ad with my daughter's phone number on there.
What the blood?
But I mean that's kind of messed up to begin with. But
yeah,
to me it's kind of funny because she put up this Craigslist ad as if my daughter was selling baby goats. So
it wasn't like anything like fucking.
No, it wasn't like
anything like over the top bad or something.
No.
But that is fucking funny.
That's why I said it was kind of funny, because my daughter was getting calls and messages about people wanting to buy goats, and
Yeah.
my daughter was like, "What the hell's going on?" But she finally like talked to her ex again and said, "Yeah, he said that was his sister that did that." And I was like, "Oh my god, that's crazy."
Oh shit!
I mean,
Hey,
it's
she's calling her the goat. You know,
it's messed up, but it was kind of funny.
So you got any good or different watching in this week or anything like that?
I am behind on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw, whatchamacallit. I caught up on She-Hulk yesterday.
Okay.
But like,
I don't think I've seen the latest.
It was okay. But but there's a little teaser at the end. I won't spoil it for you. But I haven't watched any of Cobra Kai yet, season 5.
I have not either, and I'm surprised. And I want to say there was a second or two that I was like, fuck it, and I put it on. And me and my wife were going to start watching it. And we kind of started the beginning. And then I was like, I don't feel like I'm not into it right now. Let's not. Because, once you... I want to say a show like that, like once you sit down and watch it, you're going to maybe binge the whole season. Right? It's like a lazy Sunday movie or something.
I know.
And we got football on Sundays right now. So.
I know. And like, I want to spend the whole day tomorrow watching it, but man, tomorrow night, Sunday Night Football, Bears in Green Bay. So I don't know.
Oh, I was going to tell you if you wanted to record tomorrow night.
We can do during the day.
No. It's got to be during Sunday Night Football.
Negative.
I just fucking... I saw they won this past weekend, man. That was a pretty good win.
Burley. I think the rain had a lot to do with it.
Yeah. I got to... Because after football season, I turned off my... what was it? I had that Sling TV.
Yeah.
Because, dude, I only used it for the NFL Network. And now it's like, with the NFL kicking back on, I hadn't put it back on yet. So I got to put that back on because I can't go another weekend only watching like 2 or 3 fucking football games, I got to watch that whole red zone.
What happened? My daughter just walked in. I thought they just left.
Oh. Dude, are you back downstairs?
Yeah, so the computer, I don't know. I told you this computer is whack. Like, for a while the Wi-Fi wasn't working at all. And then like it did another update and then like now it's working. So I don't know if like I don't know. I still need a new computer because it's pretty janky, but it gets the job done.
Yeah.
It gets the job done.
Well, same with me, man. Like, I don't know why. Like, I could have swore I had the Teams downloaded, the app downloaded onto the computer. But I have to log in through the internet right now on Teams.
I don't know. Technology.
I don't know. Well, and then, I got to either get my son his own or get my own separate. I have my old one, but the camera's a little janky on that one. And I know you got to be able to see my good face, so,
Yeah, that's the thing, too, because, like, last time we tried, and my kids had to use the computer, too. It's like...
what it comes down to is we just got to get back in fucking person, bro.
Yeah. For sure. Told you I just need to pack up the stuff and head to your place.
I'm telling you. But, dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. I would think I would kick everybody out of the downstairs and we just do it in my fucking kitchen or something because that garage is hot right now.
Just need to do it, like, after work sometime.
Or be coming during the wintertime. It'd be good.
There you go. We'll switch seasons.
Yeah.
You want to start or what?
Hell yeah, man! Let's get into it because I think I don't know if this is something we're gonna run long or we're gonna be able to fucking get in there. So
I'm thinking these are gonna be kind of short and sweet. I'm guessing maybe an hour, but we'll see. Maybe.
I don't know. I'm talking about me.
You're Miss Chatterbox.
Hey.
And the thing too,
I'm here for the long haul. I'm prepared.
Like I was right. I had some stuff written down because we're gonna do it earlier in the week, and I don't know where that paper is, so I'm just gonna wing it. I'm just gonna wing it. Yeah. I saw Chuck and Adam today.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, check this out.
Oh, you went over there?
Yeah, man.
Dude, I didn't even know nothing was fucking going on.
Michael Madsen